How's it going there, guys? James here from Butler Farms on a kind of a weird day. Got up this morning, it's very overcast, sprinkling rain, dark, dreary, and now it's starting to burn off, and got some sun popping out and breezy. It feels good out here. It could be a lot worse. It could be really, really hot. I just wanted to bring you an update. I'm up here in the garden, and this is Easter weekend, and this is when I always plant, and so everything is in the garden now. Got a lot that went in this morning. I did scale back a little bit simply because I wanted to try a couple of different things, but also just focusing more on the stuff that we use regular. I didn't put up a lot of tomatoes last year. We ate a lot of them fresh, and just it was just, you know, we're out now, so I had to really focus on tomatoes this year. Canning type tomatoes, cut back on cherry tomatoes. We eat a ton of those, but these plants, my stars, produce a ton of cherry tomatoes, so we'll still have plenty to eat, and plenty for salads and fresh eating, but we also love our tomato sandwich. They have canned tomatoes. I had to actually buy some of this last year, and I don't know if you priced organic tomatoes lately in the can, but they are proud of them, to say the least. So got a lot to do today, but I just wanted to turn you around here, let you see what's going on. I do have to come back and water. So down here on this bottom row, now last year all of my tomatoes and peppers and everything were down at that end. In this garden, I try to flip-flop it every year. I wish I could get about a 3-year rotation, but it's just not possible in a garden this size. When I get retired and carry this garden on around and basically double it in size, it'd be much easier to do that. But right now, all I can do is just swap ends. One thing that I'm kind of disappointed with this year, I don't know if you can tell it just by looking here, the sun has popped out, and so I don't know what it's going to look like on camera, but we've got a lot of big dirt clods. I came in here and I broke it deep, came back and disked it, and it was a little wet when I disked, so it set up clods, and I came through here with my tiller and it busted up a lot of them. I came through here with a hoe and tried to break up some more, but it is what it is, guys. With my limited amount of time, with everything else I've got going on, I don't have the luxury to just continue to wait and wait and wait. Plus I had all these starts that I had to get in the ground. It's time. So anyway, got my little cherry tomatoes down here on the bottom. These are Sweet Millions right there. These are Sun Golds. I love Sun Golds. They're probably my favorite. And then I've got some black cherry tomatoes. I love the dark tomatoes. I don't grow a lot of the big like Cherokee purples anymore, simply because you know, some years they do well, some years not so much, and I'm all about production. So I've got to put stuff in the ground that's going to produce, but this will give me my fix on dark tomatoes right here. And so that's all of the cherry tomatoes, and then we get into celebrities down through here. All right, and then on the second row, this is where my tomatoes ran out, and this is where my peppers started. So these are California Wonders right here, and then we get into the Better Boy tomatoes down through here, and then we've got some Jetstar. Now I was turned on to Jetstar a couple of years ago. I found some in Totally Tomatoes, which is a seed company, and started a bunch of them. And guys, Jetstars really produce down here, and so I put a few of those in the ground. Got some more California Wonders down through here, and then I've got my jalapenos down through there. And yes, before you say how sad they look, they were just transplanted, so there's a little bit of shock going on. My next thing that I do after I carry everything I've already used up to the house is to bring water back down here. Now we're supposed to have some good rain coming in this weekend. Like I said, we had sprinkles on and off this morning, but by Sunday morning we're supposed to have some good rain, so hopefully that is the case. I do not have water access down here. I'd have to go all the way up to the house. There is an old faucet down there buried in the ground, but we don't have a well up there anymore, so I'd have to tie it into
to city water, and that's just not on my list of things to do right now. So this is all of my peppers and tomatoes down here. Like I said, I cut back. I'm going to come back after I get all this grass cut and put my stakes in. Very important that you put your stakes in while they're young, before those roots start spreading out. If you let your tomatoes get on up and then you start driving stakes in right beside them, you're going to damage those roots. So if it's an indeterminate tomato that you're going to have to stake, you need to go ahead and put those stakes in the ground when you plant them, and that way you're not going to hurt them. Now up here at the top, y'all know my love affair with squash of all kinds, and so I've got 3 of the butternut squash here, and then I get into my yellow crookneck. This is more from Mama than from me. We love to eat fresh squash in the summer, so I've got 6 of those down through there, and then here I've got some zucchini. Only 3 of those, because we do love zucchini just as much as we love yellow squash, but zucchini typically for us is going to produce 2 to 1, so 3 of those will produce as much fruit as all 6 of those yellow squash if they make it. So yeah, so I've got a little bit of winter squash. I cut back way big on that this year just simply because of space, and I'm gonna be honest with you, all the winter squash I grew last year, I put them up and hardened them off, and they didn't get eaten, and so a bunch of those had to be thrown away and disposed of. And it's just until we get in our minds that we're going to eat them and do them like we're supposed to, I'm not going to plant a whole lot of those, simply because I don't want them to go to waste. Now down here, it looks like there's nothing there. There is. Y'all know me, if you've watched me for any length of time. Being a southern boy, I've got to have my field peas, cow peas, whatever you want to call them. Now I do not plant black-eyed peas. Can't stand them. Never have liked black-eyed peas. Even if you doctor them up, they tend to be dry. The stuff that comes out of a can ain't fitting to eat. I grew up on Mississippi pink-eye purple hulls, and that's what's down here. I've got 4 rows of Mississippi pink-eye purple hull down there, and we still have a good bit left over in the freezer, but this will resupply us for the year. I usually do 5 or 6 rows of the purple hull peas, but if I get a good stand, that'll be plenty, because with what we've got in the freezer plus what we get this year, that'll get us easily to next year. We usually eat peas once a week, because to be honest with you, we kind of forget that they're up there sometimes in the freezer. So unless we really start eating a lot of peas, that's going to be plenty. Now up here at the top, which is typically my poor section of the garden, this down here usually does pretty good. It's on a flat. You can kind of see the difference in the color of the soil. Up here at the top, I haven't planted beans in 2 years. We eat a lot of beans, we just don't eat a lot of them out of the garden, and we are completely out. I froze the last ones we had, and several of those did not do well. They got freezer burnt. And so this year, with my, if you go back to the Christmas video of the things that I kind of bought myself for Christmas, y'all saw that I got that electric pressure canner. So this year, whatever I get that we don't eat fresh from these, there's 2 rows of Kentucky Wonder bush beans up here. And right now, again, bush beans are more efficient for me because they'll come in pretty much all at the same time. And when I'm canning, that's important. Now, when I expand the garden, I would love to go to pole beans, because for me, typically pole beans produce more tonnage, I guess you would say, but it's over a long length of time. So if I have a bunch of them, I can do several cannings. But with my time restraints and the limited amount of space that I have at this moment, bush beans are where it's at, simply because they're going to come in pretty much all at the same time. I get all my canning done of my beans for the year, and I'm done. And then they're ready to be plowed under. But there are 2 rows of Kentucky Wonder. I tried those. Last time they were Blue Lakes. I wasn't real impressed with those. Didn't like the consistency of them. So I went back to the Kentucky Wonder bush bean, and there's 2 heavy rows down through there. I planted all of these very heavy for several reasons. Number 1, I had the seed. Number 2, with all the clods in here, I tried to get them out of my rows as much as I could, but those clods are going to keep a good bit of my seed from making good soil contact. So I went ahead and planted them kind of heavy, just simply to see if I could get a good stand, because you know, it just is what it is. So that's kind of an update of where we are. Everything's in the ground and everything's in God's hands now, because it's a done deal. Whatever he decides to bless us with, and if those will take off and grow, we'll have a good selection of vegetables there, fruits and vegetables. Plus over here with my raised beds, I've got lettuce that's already ready to cut. I've got onions that are already starting to bulb, not big enough for me to pull the soil away from them yet, but they are starting to bulb a little bit. I've got radishes ready to pull. And my carrots are coming along. They're coming along slowly, but they're coming. So we'll see if we can get a stand of those before it gets way too hot here in central Alabama. You just never know. It's just an experiment for now. Again, I know I keep saying this, but when I get retired, the time of year that I need to be planting carrots and stuff like that, I won't be working anymore. At least not off the homestead. So that'll be a good deal. So I'm gonna get this locked down and get some water on these new tomato plants, because they're kind of withering out here, and I expected them to a little bit. It's a little bit of a shock going on, but I will bring you up to date as new things come along. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button, and let's keep this thing growing. And then remember, until next time, we love you. God bless you. This is James from Butler Farms, and we'll be seeing you.